have stared into the abyss. And the abyss is the makeup aisle when you know you're not allowed to buy anything. Hi friends! Hi! My name is Mia and this is my virtual vanity. And no, this isn't my intro to my no-buy year or my low-buy year. It's just me talking about the little stealthy ninja no-buy that I've gone over the summer for very superficial reasons, but that taught me deep, soul-crushing lessons. It feels that everybody and their mom went on a no-buy or a low-buy after Hannah Louise Poston did. And honestly, there's only one Hannah. And that's not to say it just to kiss her ass. Although it would be a lovely ass to kiss, she is wonderful. I do feel that no-buying, low-buying has become a trend. And people are doing it just because it's the cool and fun YouTube thing to do, as opposed to actually have a good reason behind it. Why Hannah's was so successful is because the topic wasn't, I'm not buying anything. The topic was, I am abstaining to buy to address why I need to buy. She talked about how she felt, why she felt, she identified loops, root causes. You would watch one of her videos in her no-buy and you would learn something. Either about compulsive behaviors or how it feels to abstain from such behaviors, how it felt to actually use the stuff that you have and not bring anything new, and maybe some of it resonated with you. And if it didn't, you learned something. It wasn't just, oh, I didn't buy this, I wanted that, I yearned after that. It wasn't just that. It was much deeper. It was a full deep dive into an engagement with no buying, as opposed to just flirting with it to get the views. I hope I'm being clear. Anyway, it feels that low buys and no buys have become punishments without any self-reflection. Just abstinence without any reason behind it. And I think in a way it ties to a very popular belief in culture and religion that by abstaining from certain material things or experiences, we can become pure and whittle ourselves down to whatever higher form of us that we can find. Without self-reflection, that abstinence is just frustration. And I feel that I didn't want to make a dedicated series just for me not buying shit 3 months, because I didn't want to turn that into something that I would talk to YouTube about just to talk about it. I actually wanted to keep to myself to actually reflect how this experience teaches me what it is like to be me and to have the quirks and unhealthy coping mechanisms that I have. Why did I start my no-buy? I actually started my no-buy for a very superficial reason, and that is I'm going to the UK. And I'm going to the UK for 1 week. I'm going on vacation, and the fucking pound is so expensive compared to our local currency, dear God. Imagine it's like £5 to 1 leu. It is, I feel like crying. My wallet feels like crying. So what I was like, you know what? I don't want to spend money on makeup this summer. I want to get makeup from the UK that I can't get over here, and it will be a good exercise in willpower. It's been a journey. Because in just trying to save up money for a trip, I discovered that I actually had some very unhealthy habits that I had to confront and that I couldn't lean on anymore because I made a promise to myself. Feels like buying makeup to me was something that comforted me. Just like I have issues with comfort eating. I have an unhealthy relationship with food that is just periods of starving myself followed by periods of just eating my feelings. But it seems that this pattern of trying to find comfort in material things extended to makeup. So whenever I had a bad day at work, whenever I felt shitty emotionally about myself, when I had a bad mental health day, my first impulse was, oh, I should go swatch pretty things in Sephora. And I wouldn't say that I had a shopping addiction, but moreover, I used buying pretty items as a crutch, as just a temporary, just slap a band-aid on a woozing wound that is my mental health. And it's like, if you've got a shit in the middle of the street and you throw a sparkle on it, it's going to be a sparkly shit, but it's still gonna be shit. I was basically using buying makeup as a way to comfort myself because I self-flagellate so much otherwise, and makeup was my happy place in a way. In a way that my other hobbies can't be, because makeup, it's easy to just put something sparkly on and feel pretty. It is much harder to be satisfied with something that I draw or with my performance in the sports that I enjoy, with how I write. It is a much faster form of satisfaction and self-fulfillment, even though illusory, than actually engaging in hobbies that would trigger my paralyzing self-perfectionism. The second thing that I noticed is that I was using makeup a lot, as I said, as a band-aid towards trying to distill in an aesthetic my sense of self. So I was basically buying a lot of shit that would promise me a certain aesthetic, that was promising me that once applied to my face, they could tell me the story of who I am. I basically wanted people to see me for who I was at a glance. That is why I like unusual things. I like duochromes, I like multichromes, I like sparkle, I like shine. I like things prismatic and multifaceted and bright, like I would like people to see me instead of a sad sack of shit. This is getting a bit deep. Basically, I was buying shit out of a desire to be seen and be seen at first glance as a complex kaleidoscopic creature. Not that I couldn't do that with my old stuff in my collection, but you see, there's this charm to new things. Because once you acquire the object of your desire, it loses luster. You start imagining all of the infinite possibilities when you have the new item in your hand, but once you acquire it, it becomes too real. So what I basically had to deal with after I dealt with the fact that I needed a better coping mechanism on bad days was that new stuff would bring me closer to an aesthetic sense of self-completion, because it wouldn't, no more than the stuff that I already had was. So in these couple of months, since I've abstained from buying new stuff unless completely necessary, such as a replacement or whatever, I tried to view my collection as more utilitarian than I did before. And utilitarian in the sense of seeing them as means to an artistic end, as opposed to items that could tell my story. Because the story that you want to tell with your appearance, yes, you need the tools for it, but if you already have the tools for it in such a large amount like I do, or like any other beauty guru does, then you don't need more items. You need a more efficient way of using those items to show who you are. Basically, what happened was that I started with something very, very superficial, and I realized that gotta go spend more time in therapy. Took a break from therapy for a while because it's painful. It's painful to acknowledge all of the things that hurt you and to try and make heads with it. And I guess this no-buy was in a way painful in this sense for me, because I realized that buying makeup is not going to make me self-fulfilled. Doing the things that help me create lasting things in the world is. So finishing my novel, doing my artwork. Sometimes I look at my vanity and I feel that maybe I'm spending too much stuff on a thing that in essence is very ephemeral, is very temporary, all of the shininess and sparkliness and duochrome is going to wash out at the end of the day, and it's only superficial. If I die tomorrow, people will look at my vanity and they will think those things are pretty, but it's not going to tell anybody anything about me more than she liked color and she liked color shift and she likes sparkle. It's not going to tell anyone anything more deep or meaningful than the fact that maybe I'm artistic. But if I do finish that novel, if I do draw more, then a part of my soul will be left in the world in a way that makeup, I feel, can't express. Maybe that's what I struggle with so much, because this crippling perfectionism of mine tells me that the things that I want to leave in the world are not good enough. And what point it is to pollute the world with more mediocre stuff, which is something that I need to fight with, because no matter how good or bad you need to create, the world needs your art. That's what I always tell to people. It doesn't matter the quality, the world needs your art. That's what I start to tell myself. And that's why I need to stop focusing on buying new things, instead focus on creating new things. I wanted to save money and I ended up with this. Pupa is actually going to continue until the 11th of August. On the 11th, I have a plane to the UK. I'm hoping I'll have a lot of fun. I'm hoping I'll maybe buy something that I can't get here and not fall prey again to buying new stuff just for the sake of buying new stuff to complete this narcissistic self-image and self-expression need that I have. I hope I made sense. Not sure if I did. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I'd love to start a dialogue. You know, I love chatting with you guys in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching and putting up with my bullshit. I really appreciate all of you. Have a great day. Bye!